Good God Almighty, everyone. St. Joe has performed his second miracle in as many days. Not only can he make ballots appear in the middle of the night, but he can also create coronavirus vaccines. Yes, you have heard that right. We are on the brink of finally getting out of this hellish 2020 with a COVID-19 vaccination, apparently. According to Anthony Scaramucci, probably with the hottest take so far, thank you, Joe Biden, for developing a COVID-19 vaccine. Donald Trump had 4 years to do it, and he couldn't. Now, we'll read the following two tweets because he was trying to make a joke, but he still doesn't understand the fucking enormous retarded take that was. Some people responding earnestly to this tweet should realize President Obama also deserves blame for not developing a COVID-19 test while in office. Okay, fair enough. Maybe he was just trying to make a joke, and then he links out to this one article from CNBC. Trump blames Obama for a lack of coronavirus tests because he left the national stockpile of PPE completely fucking bone dry. And who was Barack Obama's vice president at the time? The name escapes me. Anyway, so he goes on to praise St. Joe. I'm also seeing people point out that Pfizer rejected federal fundings for its vaccine research and development. Thus, Joe Biden shouldn't get full credit for this breakthrough. I think that's extremely unfair. Okay, he does understand that only the media has said that Joe Biden is president-elect. The fact of the matter is it's still far from over. And this never-Trumper who was, if you're unfamiliar with this fucking greasy fucking failure, he was press secretary for about a half second in between, what the hell was her name? Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Kayleigh McEnany there for I think 4 days or something. But yeah, he's been a massive never-Trumper ever since, and he just continues to make a fucking asshole out of himself. So he originally put up a relatively clever tweet if it was going to be a joke. Claims it was a joke, and then fucking burns down any credibility he had there for a hot second. So, as you can see, he's a total retard. But, yeah, with 90% effectiveness, it looks like Pfizer's broke through the glass ceiling, and yeah, we might be turning the corner here in apparently first quarter of 2021. I don't know. But doesn't the timing make things seem just a little bit weird? The fact that they have a 90% effective vaccine and that news comes out Monday after the election. Really gets the noggin jogging what Pfizer's really up to. But let's read their press release and then we'll dig into the fact that Pfizer is, well, you can probably guess it. Anyways. Today is a great day for science and humanity. The first set of results from our phase 3 COVID vaccine trials prove the initial evidence of our vaccine's ability to prevent COVID-19, said Dr. Albert Bourla, Pfizer chairman and CEO. So many different goofy titles that all mean the same thing relatively. We are reaching the critical milestone in our vaccine development program at a time when the world needs it most, with infection rates setting new records, hospitals nearing overcapacity, none of these are true, and economies struggling to reopen fucking you guys know the rigmarole at this point. With today's news, we are a significant step closer to providing people around the world with a much-needed breakthrough to help bring an end to this global health crisis. We look forward to sharing additional efficacy and safety data generated from thousands of participants in the coming weeks. After discussion with the FDA, the company's recently elected to drop the 32-case interim analysis and conduct the first interim analysis at a minimum of 62 cases. Upon the conclusion of this discussion, the invaluable case count reached 94, and the DMC performed its first analysis on all cases. The case split between vaccinated individuals and those who received the placebo indicate the vaccine's efficacy rate above 90%. Fucking right on. We're just about done with this. At 7 days after the second dose. This means the protection is achieved 28 days after the initiation of the vaccination, which consists of a 2-dose schedule. As the study continues, the final vaccine efficacy percentage may vary. The DMC has not reported any serious safety concerns and recommends that the study continue to collect additional safety and efficacy data as planned. The data will be discussed with regulatory authorities worldwide. I legitimately can't be happier. I want to return back to normal. I don't want to have to wear a fucking mask everywhere. And if enough useless idiots want to get vaccinated for a disease that has less than a fucking 0.1%, 0.1% chance of killing you, and being a 30-year-old, quite healthy, in shape individual, I have, absolutely no fear of this fucking thing. But if you're an infirmed 75-year-old, I guess, you really roll the dice with about a 3 to 5% chance of it actually killing you, but whatever. So I'll link to the rest of the press release here. It's fucking long and lengthy and full of a bunch of medical jargon, but the hot points here: the vaccinated candidates found to be more than 90% effective in preventing COVID-19 in participants without evidence of prior SARS-CoV-2 infection in the first interim efficacy analysis. Analysis evaluated 94 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in trial participants. Study enrolled 43,538 participants, with 42% having diverse backgrounds, and diversity is our greatest strength after all. And no serious safety concerns have been observed. Safety and additional efficacy data continue to be collected. Submission for the Emergency Use Authorization, EUA, to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, of course, planned for soon after the required safety milestone is achieved, which is currently expected to occur in the third week of November. Clinical trial to continue through to final analysis at 174 confirmed cases in order to collect further data and characterize the vaccine's candidates' performance against other study endpoints. And there we go. Now, it's great to see one of these major pharmaceutical companies come through with, a world-changing vaccine. I don't normally like to praise Big Pharma because I think that they are among the most corrupt institutions in the world. But in this case, you do something right, you deserve some praise. And developing a vaccine in under a year's time with 90% success rate is definitely worthy of praise. Now, Pfizer was one of the names of those companies that was constantly name dropped by President Trump whenever he was talking about, you're not handling the coronavirus properly. Oh my God. And he's like, listen, we're dealing with the China virus. We have many great private companies that are dealing with it. You got Johnson & Johnson, you got Pfizer. He was listing all of these other companies. Moderna, I believe, was another one. And so it came as a little bit of a shock. We got this news story here, one of the first ones that I seen today. And it reads, after biomedical giant Pfizer announced on Monday morning that it had developed a highly effective coronavirus vaccine, a widespread effective, by the way, at 90%, it's widespread, you can say that, go for it, in partnership with BioNTech, a German firm. Congratulations poured in from members of the Trump administration. Of course, one of their programs was instrumental in cutting out the red tape in order to do right to try, so you could sign up for the trials in order for them to expedite the process, as well as getting additional funding. But this seems a little bit weird. Anyways, so Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter, I didn't know that. Oh my God. Thank you, Yahoo. You really, really do some groundbreaking journalism. And top advisor praised the tireless work of Operation Warp Speed, the Trump administration's $18 billion plan, to speed development and distribution of the coronavirus vaccine. Great work by the administration pushing the historic and unprecedented vaccine development under Operation Warp Speed, even as cynical Democrats attempted to undermine its credibility, said Representative Dan Crenshaw from Texas, a prominent congressional supporter of President Trump, who, I don't know, man. He was a little bit sketchy when it came to the breakdown and the support of lockdowns. He was a little bit on the side of lockdowns are good there for a minute, and as much as I like him probably at like a 75% clip. He's not exactly at the top of my list of people that I'd like to throw my support behind, but he's definitely nowhere near somebody that I would outright not support. But pay attention to the moves that he makes in the coming weeks. That's all I gotta say. If you guys out there like him and have evidence to the contrary, definitely. Like I said, more times often than not, I think that he's on the right side. So there is one problem with the adulation. A top scientist from Pfizer told the New York Times that her company had not partnered with Trump administration's program. Oh, really? We were never part of the Warp Speed. We have never taken any money from the United States government or from anyone, Katherine Jansen, the company's vice president of vaccine research, told the New York Times. Well. How about that? Let's just go right to the source. How about that? The fact sheet. This is right off the health and safety website, so let's fact check her in real time because somebody in the media has to. I'm not in the media. I'm just an asshole talking into a microphone and a webcam, and a bunch of you people seem to like it, so I will keep on doing this. Operation Warp Speed's goal is to produce and deliver 300 million doses of safe and effective vaccines, with the initial doses available by January 2021. By the way, this page was printed in October. That was the last time it was updated, so I'm just saying that they probably knew a bunch of stuff, and the fact that Pfizer came out with it today of all days, and the Monday after the election, when good news like this would have definitely helped Trump, but I don't know, maybe they knew all of this and it really wouldn't have mattered because, dead people were still going to vote Democrat anyways. As part of the broader strategy to accelerate the development, manufacturing, and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics, Regeneron, people, to help you get better, because vaccines aren't going to help people already infected by coronavirus. So if you have it at the time that this is released, it won't cure you, because contrary to popular belief, there aren't any cures out there for diseases. There are therapeutics that will help you ease the symptoms of it, but there is no outright take this, you will immediately feel better. Cite the source otherwise. There's only just been instances of vaccines like the polio vaccine, smallpox, and the rest of the stuff, you just have to wait it out and hopefully some sort of herd immunity emerges, which is what we'll eventually get once most of the population who wants to get vaccinated gets vaccinated, and the other people who still have immunity after it being processed through their body. So, yeah, looks like probably to the beginning to the end of the first quarter there in 2021, we're probably seeing the end of this shit, and it can't come soon enough, because this year, I don't know if it's just me, but this entire year's been a total blur where everything just kind of seems like it's running together. Anyways, let's get through the rest of this. So, who's working on Operation Warp Speed? Operation Warp Speed is a partnership among components of the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, including the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institute of Health, and the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, and the Department of Defense. OWS engages the private firms and other federal agencies, including the Department of Agriculture, Energy, and Veteran Affairs. It will coordinate with existing HHS-wide efforts, including the NIH's Accelerating COVID-19 Therapeutic Interventions and Vaccines Active Partnership. Sounds fun. NIH's Rapid Acceleration of Diagnostics Initiative, and work with BARDA. That was the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. So what it's doing is funding research, cutting through red tape, and making sure that this is as easy of a process as humanly possible. This was not done when the original SARS virus came through. This was not done with swine flu. This was not done with bird flu or any other widespread illness in the past, few decades here. So, props to Operation Warp Speed. Now, Katherine whatever, a lying cunt. We'll go ahead and just shorten it to that. She said that Pfizer didn't receive any sort of support from Operation Warp Speed. Now, I find that a little bit hard to believe because your boy did some early research, and as we see here, HHS announced up to $1.95 billion in funds to Pfizer. $1.95 billion in funds to Pfizer for the large-scale manufacturing and nationwide distribution of 100 million doses of their vaccine candidate. How about that? But they didn't receive any sort of help. And all of this stuff came out after that press conference. Their very successful trials that President Trump was also touting that, yeah, it looks like everything's on track for the end of the year. All of a sudden, 90%. Wow, after Joe Biden, he finally made it to office. He performs his second miracle, and I really look forward to the fact that he'll just be able to sit down and talk with the heads of Black Lives Matter and Antifa and tell them that this violence is not the bad. You know the thing. And then he'll ascend to sainthood, and he'll be able to be eulogized alongside Mother Teresa and the like, because all praise our Lord and Savior, creepy, sleepy Joe Biden. But why would Pfizer go to these lengths? Okay. Why would they hold back any good information? Because at this point, the timing of it is a little bit more than suspect. Why would they outright lie the fact that they didn't receive any funding? Well, guess how much money they spent on the 2020 campaign trail? They spent nearly $3 million in contributions and $11 million in lobbying in 2019. You know who their top recipient was? The Joe Biden campaign, $250,000. Then the Democratic senatorial campaign at 1.5, 152,000, not 1.5. Duh. Then of course, yes, to be fair, they also donated to the Republican senatorial campaign, $112,000, 113 just about. Then of course the DNC, another $100,000, and then to the congressional campaign for the Democrats, another $100,000, and $10,000 less to the Republicans. And then way down there, you see donating to Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders, who's going to take from the millionaires and billionaires. But if you want to go ahead and give me about $40,000, okay, be my guest, and I'll make sure that I don't have to mention you when I start railing about Big Pharma, okay? No refunds. So just doing some rough math here. So $320,000 in the top 10 recipients there went to Republican causes, as opposed to, well, 700,000 for Democrats. And that is legitimately Pfizer, okay? I couldn't find any information on let's just get this bitch's name right. Katherine Jansen, what she personally contributed, but I also couldn't find any information on her, so I don't want to slander her. I just want to call her a lying bitch because, well, they took $2 billion from Operation Warp Speed, and they definitely benefited from the streamlining of the bureaucratic process, which a lot of FDA regulations were lifted under, previous Trump administration moves as well. So yeah, they definitely benefited from Operation Warp Speed, but that is not to play downer in this. This is definitely a great thing that went on today, and I can definitely say I'm looking forward to the end of this pandemic and the start of the new one, where the Democrats just wipe away all of the benefits that a Trump presidency achieved. And remember, guys, this fight isn't over yet, and they are currently rewriting history right in front of your eyes and mine as well, and I'm not going to let it happen. But that'll do it for this one, guys. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.